guys, welcome back to the channel. As usual, I am your host, Sellssi. Today we're going to talk about the Afcon 2023 draw, which is set to take place next week, the 19th, as Ghana and other nations are set to know the groups they'll be placed in. I'll talk you through the draw procedure and everything you need to know ahead of the draw for the next Afcon, which will happen in Cote d'Ivoire, back to the June-July dates. Great news to have it back in the off-season after what happened in Afcon 2021, where players or clubs refused to release players for the tournament because it interrupted with club football. It's great to see it back in the off-season once again, and we're happy to know that most of the players will be here for this competition. We had it in 2019 June. Well, they will continue, but I didn't. But the draw for Afcon 2023 has been released, the procedure for the draw. Now, these are the pots on your screen right now. We'll take you through them. We'll take you to the procedure that will be taken for the draw and everything else you need to know. As usual, subscribe if you have not. Click on the notification bell to get more updates. So the draw will involve 48 countries. Now, the Afcon has been expanded 24 countries, so the top two teams from each group will make it to the Afcon 2023. Now, the hosts will be in there for the qualifiers. Yes, they'll be in there, but the hosts will also play in the qualifiers, and if they finish outside of the top two, they will still qualify. This is sort of a way to help the host prepare for the tournament. Because of the limited time span for the qualifiers, the host will have to use the qualifiers to also play preparatory games. Normally, the host does not play in the preparatory games, and this is not going to be a way to eliminate the host. I'll tell you through and I'll talk you through everything you need to know. So these are the pots on your screen based on the rankings as at the 31st of March 2022. These were the latest FIFA rankings, and based on that, Ghana finds itself in Group 1. That's Pot 1. For Pot 1, we'll run through the teams. They are Senegal, Morocco, Nigeria, Egypt, Tunisia, Cameroon, Algeria, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, who are the hosts. They are in the top 12 countries in Africa right now. Burkina Faso, Ghana, and DR Congo. Ghana ranked 11th in Africa right now. So from the 13th to the 14th position, also South Africa follow, Cape Verde, Guinea, Gabon in Pot 2, Benin, Uganda, Zambia, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Madagascar, Kenya, and Sierra Leone. Now, you notice there's an asterisk beside Kenya. I'll be explaining that to you later on. We'll come back to it. Pot 3 has Namibia, Mauritania, Guinea-Bissau, Niger, Libya, Mozambique, Malawi, Togo, Zimbabwe, the Gambia, Angola, and Comoros. For Pot 4, there is Tanzania, Central African Republic, Sudan, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia, Eswatini, Lesotho, Botswana, Liberia, South Sudan, Sao Tome, and Principe. So all these 48 countries are going to take part in the draw. Now, I talked about Kenya and Zimbabwe. If you not know, Kenya and Zimbabwe have been banned by FIFA for government interference in footballing activities. Yet still, CAF is expecting that they restructure their things 2 weeks to the Afcon qualifiers. CAF will find out if they have been reinstated by FIFA, and if that has been the case, they will be allowed to take part in the Afcon 2023. Their position, whether they are in the top two, if they do qualify, they will go through. And now, because these two nations, Kenya and Zimbabwe, have a scenario in which if they are placed in the same group, both of them are likely to miss out, and only two teams in that group will be eligible for the Afcon. They will not be placed in the same group. That is one constraint that has been placed in there by CAF. And now for the draw procedure for the group stages, there will be 12 groups of 4 teams each, A to L. And now the first ball will be drawn from Pot 4 and will go to position A4. The procedure will be repeated for the remaining teams of Pot 4, who will go to position B4, C4, D4, E4, F4, G4, H4, I4, J4, K4, and L4 according to the draw order. The same procedure as above will be repeated for pot 3, 2, and finally pot 1. Procedure for the draw there stated clearly. They'll start from pot 4, and that will be how it will go. They'll position them in A4, B4, C4, and so on. B4, C4, D4, up to the last group. And now the draw constraints are that the first and the runner-up of the 11 groups where the host is not playing will qualify to the final tournament. Now, for the group of the host, since the host is automatically qualified despite its result, the following scenarios will be applied. And it states here that if the host is ranked first, the host is qualified in addition to the second of the group. If the host is ranked second, the host will qualify in addition to the first in the group. If the host is ranked third or fourth, the host will qualify in addition to the first in the group. So not many people will want the host in their group, I can assure you of that, because the host are using this as preparatory games. It's not even a qualifier for them, it's a warm-up. Getting good results might not be all they'll be looking for. The results will not matter to the host, because no matter where they finish in a group, they will still qualify. And a team can do well in that group and be second and might still miss out on the tournament. So not a great one there for anyone who have the host in their group. And now, reference to the suspension, which I've talked about, but let me just reiterate it here. To the suspension of Kenya and Zimbabwe by FIFA from all footballing activities. In case the suspension is not lifted 2 weeks before their first match day of the qualifiers, both associations will be considered as losers and eliminated from the competition. Consequently, their groups will be composed of 3 teams. The first and the runner-up teams of those groups will qualify for the final tournament. Consequently, the 2 teams, Kenya and Zimbabwe, cannot be drawn in the same group in order to avoid having any group with only 2 teams in case the suspension on both associations is not lifted. So the first day of the qualifiers, if we check with FIFA and they are suspended still, we'll consider it as them being out of the whole tournament, and they will be removed from their group. So 3 teams will be left in the group. As such, those 2 teams, Kenya and Zimbabwe, cannot be placed in the same group owing to these constraints. And that is the draw procedure for the 34th edition of the African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire. I think I've covered everything. If you didn't get anything, you cannot understand something, leave a comment in the comment box and let me get the explanations to you. Basically, the draw will be held on the 19th of April 2022, and we will know which countries will be squaring off in the draw for the African Cup of Nations. So that has been it for today. The draw procedure for the African Cup of Nations qualifiers, which kicks off in June and will end in March 2023. The tournament itself will start in June, July 2023. Let me know your thoughts in the comments box on everything. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the week.